Action. Dine a glass of wine, a little late romance, a chain reaction. The people of the world coming out to dance. Cause there's music in the air and lots of loving everywhere. So give me the night, give me the night. So come on out tonight and we'll live.
Live Talk with Leader Brad.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Live Talk with Benita Bradley. I am your host, Benita Bradley, and we're waiting for Instagram to come back on. They were coming in strong tonight, and they got kicked off. So we're gonna wait, let them come back on before we get into it. Um, I hope everybody had a wonderful evening. Um, Happy Thursday evening. It has been storming crazy over here. I don't know if you guys are getting any of the storm, but if you are, please be safe, particularly if you're driving and you have to be out there in this weather. Please, ma'am, please, sir, drive carefully. Okay. And for some reason, I don't know what it is. Seem like people just drive more crazy when the weather is bad for some reason. It just seems like people take on a whole new level of daredevil or something. I don't know what happens when it rains. It's like people get crazy and just, everybody want to drive fast when it rains. I'm not sure what that is, but it's something. I know that much. So everybody be careful. Um, I don't like it when it's stormy. Even if I'm in my house, I still don't like it. I don't, because it has the potential to, knock out all your power in your house, um, blow your stuff around outside or on your balconies and stuff like that. I just don't like it. I don't like it when it storms like that. So, um, let me get some of my uh, things going. Uh, let's see. Um, Somehow or another, I don't have it. So, are you guys seeing my scrolling at the bottom, or is it just kind of just sitting there? Let's see. Okay, let me get live in the comments over here so I can see what's going on. Let's see. I might have to turn it down once I find it. If the volume's up too high. Okay, hold on. Let me get over here so I can see what you. Okay, there it is. All right. So I don't see. Okay, yeah, let me turn this down. Okay, so now, let's see. I don't see the running banner. Oh, come on. It's not letting Instagram back in. I'm sorry, guys. Let me take them all the way out. Let's delete that. Let's start over. Let's see. Let's see if we can get them back. I hope so. Because they come in so good. So anyway, I was telling you guys about the storm and how much I don't like it because, like I said, especially when, it's thundering and lightning, I don't like it because it has the potential to knock out all your power. And I just don't like when that happens. You can't go anywhere. You be afraid to work on your electronics and stuff. I don't like it. I just don't like it. So you're almost forced to just kind of either sit down somewhere or get in the bed and just kind of, I guess, play around on your phone a little bit or whatever you can do. Especially if you lose power, there's not a lot you can do. So as soon as I see that it starts storming like that, I normally, try to keep all my electronic devices charged up anyhow. So in case something does happen like that, I'm ready for it. Okay. All right, guys. So tonight we're gonna get into part two. Are they back? Just hang on a second. So, guys, we're almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram. So, I'm trying to build my numbers across every platform. So, wherever you see Live Talk, go ahead and click and follow. Okay. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay. It doesn't tell me who I'm talking to on Facebook. Doesn't let me see that. Okay. Okay. It's not letting me see who I'm talking to. Hold on. Create. Create. I'm just gonna leave this one up because I can't find the other ones. All right, so I'm gonna leave that one up for tonight. So I'm gonna try to be on as much as I can with you guys up until Wednesday, because next week I have, if you guys remember, I did a show and I showed you guys the next procedure that I'm having as it pertains to my journey with brain tumors. I showed you guys a video that shows the procedure I'm having next week. So I'm going to try to be on as much as I can with you guys up until then. So you may see me um, come on days that I'm not supposed to be on or more than once in a day because I'm going to try to squeeze in as much time as I can with you guys before that surgery. It's a 1 day surgery. It's about a 6 hour procedure and it's outpatient. Um, so I should be home the same day um, to recover at home. And I just believe that all will be well. I don't believe that um, this will be more challenging than the things I've already gone through. So, and I'm still here by the grace of God, and I'm so thankful for that. So, I'm going to try to spend as much time as possible with you guys. And so, like I said, you may see me come on more than I'm supposed to more than our schedule, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday evenings. So if you see me on again tomorrow, just hop on, chop it up with me. Okay, if you see me come on twice in one day, just hop on, chop it up with me. All right. So, because I don't know how um, I'm gonna feel that day. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna feel that day, and it's it's one of the days we have our show on. So maybe I can get my brother to come talk to y'all, and because he'll still be here. Maybe I can get my brother to do my show and talk to you guys about um, security in your churches and being safe at church. Maybe I can get my brother to come and talk to you guys about that. We'll see. I'll ask him. I'll ask him before he gets here. So if that's something he would like to do. Now he's been on the show once before to talk about that, but um, he's never done the show by himself. So I'm gonna see if he wants to do the whole show by himself and just come on and talk about, his security company and the things that he's doing, the training that he's offering for churches. He does active shooter training for churches, for high profile individuals. Some of your pastors, your bishops, or what have you, are high profile leaders. Um, some of you think your leaders are high profile. Um, some of you leaders think you're high profile. You know, y'all got 10 members and 5 armor bearers, so um, you think you're high profile. So maybe I can get him to come and do the show the day of my radiation treatment surgery. We'll see. All right. So let's get into our lesson. I have been waiting to get back into this. I enjoyed this myself. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because what I did, I put a spin on that term gold digger. I just did the gold, because for so long it just has had such a negative connotation, and it probably still does in several settings, if not all settings. But I wanted to challenge our thinking in another direction when we hear that term, not necessarily gold digger, but just the word gold in general when it talks about a man or talks about what a woman really want. What do we really want? I can speak from myself. I'm not even saying I speak for all women. Let me just clarify that, because all women don't want the same thing. Let me say that. I got enough sense to know not all women want the same thing. Okay? I got enough sense to know that. So, what I did was, um, and the reason why I had to limit what I give y'all on here is because this is part of the book also. This is part of my upcoming book. Remember I told you guys I got like 5 books just swarming around in my head. Part of the process is starting to write down uh, thoughts that are in there, the main idea, thoughts like that, um, breakdowns and sections and stuff. That's how books come to me. When I have books sitting in here in queue, if you will, I have to start with, okay, what's the main idea? Who am I talking to? What's my targeted audience? Um, and then I start with my breakdown. I always start with definitions, because when I start with definitions, defining whatever I'm getting ready to write about makes my writing easy, and it makes it easier for me to stay on track, so I'm not just here, there, and everywhere in writing on a particular subject. And so this is basically the foundation I'm laying for my new book. Um, okay, good, Instagram. I'm sorry. It said we got disconnected because of poor connection. It just kicked you guys out. So thank you for coming back. We're doing part 2 tonight of what women really want. And we're talking about, I did a little play on that word gold. We're always hearing about gold diggers, and it has such a negative connotation. I took that same word gold and I put a spin on it to make it more positive. You know, you can make anything positive. It just depends on how you think, how you examine it, how you observe it, and what's your perspective of it. So for me, when I took the word gold, I want you to pay attention to this. G for gentleman, O for observant, L for leadership, and D for distinguished. That's the kind of man women want. Women, we're going for the gold. Y'all see what I did there? We're going for the gold. I don't want to, I gotta give you just my notes, because if I give you too much, then you'll know you pretty much everything that's going to be in the book. This is just the foundation of the book, okay? So I can give you this much and a little bit more, because these are notes and research I did. This research is not mine. This research is cited material, okay? So I thought it was interesting, um, that sometimes we can take something negative and we can turn it into a positive, uh, just by changing the way we look at it. You know, for so long, men have heralded that a gold digger was somebody, a woman who was just after a man for his money. A gold digger was, you know, somebody who just out to use a man, you know, for whatever she can get from him, you know. But I want us to look at it from a different perspective. I don't want us to look at it as women want the gold as it pertains to uh, the old adage gold digger, but I want us to look at it from the perspective where I break it down and I say, what do women really want? We want the gold. We want the gentleman. We want a gentleman that's observant. We want a gentleman that's able to lead. And we want a distinguished gentleman. We want the gold. That's what I did with that word. All right. So we started out with gentleman on Tuesday, and I gave you the definition of gentleman. You have to go back and watch Tuesday's show for all of that. And I also gave you the characteristics of a gentleman. And then I gave you 10 characteristics of a gentleman. For those of you that missed it, um, I gave you a quote by an unknown author, and I'll read it again. The author writes, being male is a matter of birth. Being a man is a matter of age. But being a gentleman is a matter of choice. Author unknown. Uh, in this particular article, um, the woman writes that a gentleman, um, being a male does not guarantee that a boy will automatically grow up to be a gentleman. That's something that he's processed into or promoted into. So we talked about that the first night. We talked about the traits of a gentleman. I'll give you just the first line on each one. Gentleman is generous with his time, wisdom, and resources. Number two, gentleman possesses a positive outlook on life. Number three, a gentleman is a lifelong listener. I'm sorry, a lifelong learner. Number four, a gentleman models civility in how he treats others. Number five, a gentleman is well mannered and knows what is appropriate. Number six, a gentleman possesses a strong work ethic. Number seven, a gentleman is confident. Number eight, a gentleman is well dressed. Number nine, a gentleman is well spoken and a generous listener. That's the one I was trying to be in a hurry to get to. Number 10, a gentleman is known for his integrity. We want the gold. We want a gentleman, you know. And if that might not be your thing, you might not want a gentleman. You might want you a knuck if your buck kind of dude, you know. Hey, to each his own. I ain't knocking your hustle, you know. Do you, boo? You know. But me, I want a gentleman. You know, I want the gold. I want a gentleman who's observant. I want a gentleman that knows how to lead, and I want a gentleman that is distinguished. You know. Um, and so many of these. Remember, I also talked about these relationship gurus, all these male relationship gurus speaking to women, talking about women as if they know what women want, speaking on behalf of women. And I said men ought to speak to men, and women ought to speak to women, because uh, you can you can think you know what a woman wants, but unless you're a woman that desires a man, or you desire a man, then you don't know what it is to be a woman that desires a man. So I think some stuff men ought to stay out of, and likewise women. You know, I can't tell my son and I. We had this conversation last night. I can show you love. I can do a whole bunch of things. What I can't show you is how to be a man, how to chart out the rest of your life from here. When you become a husband, a father, grandfather, and all of that. I can't show you that. I can tell you, the ABCs, but you have to have someone qualified. And when I say qualified, I mean you have to have someone that have walked in your shoes in order for them to put you in the right path. I'm not a man. I never be a man. Never desired to be a man. I'm a woman. I love being a woman. I was born a female. I was raised as a girl. Then I became a woman. And now I am a lady. And so what we do is we automatically assume that because a man is a male, he's a gentleman. And that's not always true, ladies. That's not always true. And then we got these relationship people who, you know, they draw women to them, and they're not even married. They're not in a relationship. They're not trying to be in a relationship. You know why they don't want to be in a committed relationship? Because too many of y'all keep them thinking that they all of that in a bag of chips, and some more and some more and some more. But the majority of them, they're not trying to marry anybody, because for them to get married, that's going to cut down on some of their women that support them, you know. And I know what I'm talking about. It's going to cut down on some of the support they're getting from women. And here's the unfortunate thing: these people, not only are they calling themselves relationship experts, but they're also calling themselves man of God, man of God, man of God this, man of God this, apostle this, bishop this, prophet this, pastor that, and yet, you're still single, giving all this great relationship advice. And for me, I see it as a gimmick. I just see it as a game that you keep playing with these women emotions, instead of telling them the truth, that you're not checking for them like that. I mean, tell people the truth. You're not checking for them like that. What you want is somebody to take care of you. That's what you should tell them, instead of telling them that they're going to die alone. And instead of you telling them that, you know, weeping may endure for a night, but joy coming in the morning, instead of you telling them all of that, be honest and tell them, I'm just on here talking to y'all because y'all the easiest group to manipulate. Women are. Just tell people the truth. And then once you finish telling all them the truth, then I'll be right here to catch them all and tell them, listen, a man should never step to a woman and say, I know you better than you know yourself. How do you think you know a woman better than she knows herself? I don't care how much studying you've done. I don't care about any of that. There's nobody on earth that can tell me they know me better than me. Nobody. I don't care who you are, who you think you are. There is nobody that can say, I know you better than you know yourself. Child, no, you don't. No, you don't, because you don't know me that well. And so, ladies, you got to determine in your mind, what is it that I really want from a man? And when you determine what you really want, I think that's going to put you in a better place to get what you need, instead of just, picking the low lying fruit all the time. You'll be able to reach up higher, and get what you really want, get what you really desire. You don't always have to pick just whatever is available, just because it's laying low and it's easy to reach, you don't have to always do that, because just because something is laying low and it's easy to reach, doesn't mean that's the best for you now. Don't sell yourself too short. You know, some of these men are just, they're, you know, if they could um, find a different way to do things, I wish they would. I wish they would find a way to do it so that it does not hurt so many women, because all these women, you got one man leading all these women, and let's say you got 100 women following you. I promise you 60% of them thank you their husband, because you talking to all of them the same way. You greet them all the same way. You give all of them the same little pet honey name. You know, you say them all of them have the same salutation. You know, grand rising queen, good morning, my good morning, beautiful. You know, they don't know this. They don't know that what you said to 10, you said to 20. What you said to 30, you said to 40. They don't know any better. They thinking they the only ones. And so now they're prolonged in getting what they really want, because they stuck over here thinking this is something that want them. And because it's such a low lying piece of fruit and it's right there in front of them, they're afraid to just wait and wait till they can reach for something higher. You don't have to just settle for something because it's there. I don't care what nobody say. Well, that's why you ain't got no man. You don't know what people have. You don't know what people have. You don't know. Just because people don't invite you into their personal business, some stuff is off limits. As transparent as I am, you will never know if I'm in a committed relationship or not. That's not your business. And for me, unless it becomes a valid part of my story that my gentleman has agreed to share, you'll never know. You're not supposed to know. That is sacred to me. That's sacred. Whatever gentleman I may or may not be with in my life, that's sacred. That's sacred to me. Not secret, but sacred. That means we don't post on Facebook about each other. We don't post on Instagram. We don't do none of that. We're not doing any of that. There's no need to ask me. I remember somebody inboxed me and said, why do you hide? I guess they watched one of the shows and they said on the show, I heard you say you were single, but why do you hide the fact that you're single? What? I don't hide the fact that I'm single. What does it say on my page? It doesn't give a relationship status. Oh, well, then that's what my status is. Whatever things say, that's what my status is. I don't know what the thing says because I don't care. All right? So, women, we got to smarten up. We got to smarten up. And we got to stop saying, oh, there ain't no good men, and men ain't this, and men ain't that. And in fact, we got to start taking responsibility and say, you know, God, fix my picker. Fix my ability to pick the right man. Even though, yeah, the man might have chosen me, but give me the proper discernment on whether or not I should choose him back. You know, just because somebody chooses you, don't mean you got to choose them back. That's something I pray all the time. You know, God, just because a man chooses me doesn't necessarily mean I have to choose him back. So, God, give me the discernment. Give me the spiritual and the natural wherewithal so I can see what's in front of me. So I'm not just choosing somebody because they choose me. I want to choose somebody because this is the right choice for me, because this is the person that is going to add and not take away. This is the person that represents the gold. This is a gentleman who is observant, who has leadership skills, and he is a distinguished gentleman. You know, that's what I'm looking for. I want the gold. I'm coming after the goal, and that's what I'm going to have. If I can't have it like I want it, I don't want nothing at all. Period. Settling is something I don't do. Why? Because I don't have to. I don't have to. That's one thing I've learned. If I don't know anything else about this dating scene and all of that, I don't have to settle. And I'm telling some of you, you don't either. You don't, men, you don't have to settle. Women, you don't have to settle. Most of these platforms are created and they cater mostly to women, for women, by men, even the ones that are by men, they cater to women. You know, my platform mostly, because you guys see who mostly comes onto my show, my platform more so caters to men having a platform to come and share their story and speak their piece. Some of them inbox me questions. Uh, well, they're anonymous to you all. Um, and then some of them have questions that bring about topics of discussions that I do with you all. I just don't say who's what or where anything come from like that. But this particular discussion, this is coming from a new book. Okay, I'm working on, and from the point of me continuously seeing all of these relationship men telling women what they want and what they should be looking for and what they should be doing to prepare for a man, when they need to be telling men what to do, telling men how to prepare themselves for a woman, because there's a lot of broken men out there that needs men talking to men. We don't need y'all to keep talking to us. We need y'all to talk to each other so y'all can get each other in check, and leave the women to the women. It's unfortunate that that's where we are. I'm not saying that a man can't tell a woman anything, but what y'all are saying is not healthy, and it's not helping, because what's happening, these women are going, it's not helping them, because they're getting so infatuated with you as a leader or teacher or whatever you're supposed to be, their relationship coach or what have you. They get so infatuated with you, you know they're not really taking on what you're saying seriously. They're more so looking at you as the opportunity to not be single no more. So everything you telling them to do, they trying to put that stuff to work on you and practice it on you, but you don't have enough um um what's the right word I want to say. You don't have you don't have enough gumption to be honest with them and say, I'm just here because y'all the easiest group to persuade. I ain't checking for none of y'all. Some of y'all ain't that honest. I'm praying for y'all though. So today we're gonna start with the second letter, which is O. Yesterday we did G for gentleman. Today we're gonna do O for observant. We want a man that's observant. He's quick to notice the little things. You know, he's attentive. He's alert. He's perceptive. He's committed. He adheres strictly to the rules. Um, for example, a person who always spots, like when you change your hair. Oh, baby, you change your hair. Oh, that's nice. Little things like that, honey. We gobble it up. We gobble that kind of stuff up as women. We're so, excuse me. When it comes to our gentlemen, it's almost like we become little girls, and y'all is like daddy. Anything y'all say, we just eat it all up. We just eat it up. We just eat it up. Hey, you like your face slimming down. I do. Oh, thank you. Little things. Any little thing that you notice and you bring it to our attention, that you notice, that makes us feel good, you know. So we like a man that's observant. We want the goal. We want the man that's observant. You get a new outfit, you know. Sometimes that's good. You say, "Oh, baby, where you get that new dress from?" Y'all already know the answer we gonna give. Oh, I been had this. Yeah, maybe I'm the only one guilty. I been had this. How long you been had? Oh, I been had this dress. It was in my closet. All of that is true. I did been had it. You know, like yesterday. So that was in the past. Yesterday was in the past, so I been had it. You just didn't know I had it. So, but he noticed it was a new outfit. A man that pays close attention to every little detail. He's very watchful, even to your mood changes. He's not making crass jokes when he sees that you're having a moment. You know, um, if your mood changes, he's not, "What's wrong with you now?" That's not him, because he's too observant that something about you has shifted. And so he's right on it. He's right on it. "What's the matter, baby? What's the matter?" That's the gentleman. That's the kind of man we want. And I think, and I'm going to say this because I've said it several times before, and I'll say it, again and again and again. I think that I personally stand on, believe that the church has done women such a disservice when it comes to the male female relationship, uh, of a romantic nature, because we put so many restrictions on women just being feminine and being womanly, and being in her essence of femininity. We've put so much emphasis against all of that. You know, that's why church women come off so hard sometimes, and you can't speak to them without them thinking, you're trying to get in the bed with them. The stories men have told me, men try to open the door for, "Oh, I don't need nobody to open the door." Girl, get over yourself. I mean, and then y'all wonder why y'all always, some of you just need to take some time and realize some of the teaching that we received from from the church of old uh, was not healthy. It wasn't healthy for us, because it only taught us how to be present at church. It didn't really teach us how to be present at home. It didn't teach us how to be a woman at home. It didn't teach us how to be feminine at home. It didn't teach us how to, change our clothes, change our garments at home. So the same clothes you wear in the church, you wearing throughout the week. You know, we get it. You say, we get it. We get it. You know, but and we get it. You married a saved man. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. But you mean tell me just because your man say he don't want to see some of your flesh, you know, outside of the bed, he don't want to see you in a little short dress. He don't want to see your little cleavage showing every now and then when it's just the two of y'all or what have you. Y'all go out on date night. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to see you in no high heel shoes. And again, these things were not talked about coming up in ministry. And then we wonder why we had so many uh, affairs and infidelity and outside children being born. We're still having all of that. I mean, so like at some point, we're going to have to take a step back and say, okay, we need to rethink some things. We need to rethink, what does it mean to be saved and yet be a feminine woman? Can those two coexist? Yes, they can. They absolutely can. You know, people have a hard time understanding that. Well, when you have a hard time understanding that, that means you're having a hard time understanding who you are as a woman. Because I will tell you this, it took me a long time to be comfortable in my feminine self, because everything I was taught about it was fleshly, was wrong, was not spiritual enough, you know, and then you go through so much trying to have all of this right and perfect, and until, God forbid you find out somebody else doing the thing they tell you not to do, that'll wreck your whole world sometimes. It wrecks you. So that's why I say sometimes in the church we have done a horrible disservice to women. Horrible. Because we tell them, you know, don't flirt, don't do this, don't go there. Well, how's she gonna get a man? How's she gonna meet somebody? You know, what's if she's out and a gentleman comes over and speaks to her, good evening. What's wrong with her smiling and saying, good evening? What's wrong with that? What's sinful about that? Flirtatious? Yes, that's the objective. The objective is to be warm and inviting and welcoming, especially if he's sexy. If he got a little salt and pepper going, and he smell good and stuff, what I'm saying? What's the harm? What you drinking? Oh, just a Sprite or water with lemon in it, or cranberry juice, or whatever you're drinking. Can I buy you another? Sure. Anybody sitting by you? You are. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're not married, that individual doesn't seem to be married. You don't know at first. So there's nothing wrong with a little flirt. We want the gold. The next thing we want a man with leadership skills, a man that knows how to lead. And a man that knows how to lead is he's a man who leads or commands a group. He's a principal player. He's a principal player. So I got some qualities of leaders that I want to read. And so I'm toggling back and forth between screens on my phone. So I'm trying to catch everybody's comments, but I might have to go to the comments after the show and answer them, okay, and reply, because I'm trying to go back and forth between. Let's see where I was. Hold on, guys. Let me go back to this. Is it that page? Nope. Let me go back to the group. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm back in the group. I can't see your comments anymore. Where'd it go? Oh, there they are. Okay. Thought I erased your comments. Okay, I see your comments now. So what I'll do after the show, I'll go back through the comments on each platform and reply to them. Okay. All right. So the next letter is L. The letter L is for leadership. You probably heard the term born leader. Some people say you're either born with the skills to be a good leader or you're not. Um, Sometimes that's true, but it's not an absolute truth, you know, um, because there are people that you can train to be good leaders. So, um, for the sake of time, I'm just going to go right into the 5 qualities of an effective leader. So, the first one is it says successful leaders demonstrate the following 5 leadership qualities in their personal and professional life: inspiring others to take action and set a course for future success. Okay. The first one is they are self aware and prioritize personal development. This is the kind of man we want. This is the kind of man I want. And when I say we, I'm saying women, ladies, particularly mature women, because, you know, I'm 54. I'll be 55 in August, if it be the Lord's will. Um, and there's just certain things I look for now. You know, the first time I got married, uh, I was 19. I graduated from high school uh, the spring of '85, and then I got married March of '86. Went from my father's house to my husband. Never had been on my own, never lived away from home, none of that. Um, I would not advise anyone to get married at 19. I would not advise that. Um, I just wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't advise anyone to get married at 19, because it's still so much about you that you don't know. I don't know how those people feel like that little girl was properly ready to get married to somebody 63 years old. That for the life of me, I can't put my head around that one. Um, I was 19 and still wasn't ready, to be married to anybody. But there were circumstances surrounding all of that. Now, I wasn't pregnant, but there were circumstances surrounding all of that that um, kind of set the wheels in motion for that, if you will. But looking back, I would not advise anyone to get married at 19. Okay. A leader sets goals. He prioritizes them, takes responsibility for accomplishing them. The responsibility, even for falling short of your goals, making mistakes along the way, that falls on the shoulders of the leader. Successful leaders, they focus on the big picture. You know, when a family breaks down in crisis, you know, there should be some accountability from the head of that family, and not the woman made to feel like she's the problem. And women, you should never make your man feel like he's the absolute problem. You never want to set him up for failure because you've talked him out of his position of winning. I'll say that again. You never want to set your man up for failure, women, because you've talked him out of his position of winning. Our mouths, my Lord, can either build this man up or we can tear him down just like that. You know, that mouth is something serious. It's not all about what that mouth do. Sometimes that mouth can do some irreparable damage. And I've met some men along the way that have ran into some of you women with these lethal tongues. Your tongue got venom in them, honey. Your kiss and your bite is like snake bites, and you leave these men broken and damn near impossible for another woman to come along and love him, because he's so stuck and so hurt on what you did to him. He can't let nobody else love him because he's still nursing the hurt that you left him with. And those kind of men, they either do one or two things. They remain by themselves till they die, or they started getting with good women and turn on good women and make good women go bad because they mistreat her. And one thing I always tell people, I can't fix you where I didn't break you. That ain't my job. I'm not Build a Bear. That's not something I can deal with. The best I can tell you to do is go to therapy. Go to therapy. Take some time. Go to therapy. Get that worked out in therapy, and then we can talk. But until then, me and you, I can't do nothing with you because you so broken. Your heart is still a piece of you still over there, a piece of you still over there, and then you trying to give me a piece of you. I want the whole thing. I need all of you. I can't do pieces of you. I heard a lady get up and say one time about her husband at church. She was like, well, my mom always told me a piece of man is better than no man at all. No, ma'am. We don't do that. That's something we don't do, you know. And to hear her say that was just, I was stunned. Not in a good way, but stunned nonetheless. Like, did she just say that? And the man standing right there. My goodness. And so a lot of times when they do set goals and they try to prioritize them, listen, lady, he does that so that you can work within his system. Now, if his system fails and you know a little bit more about certain things than he does, then you offer your help. Or if you can see the ship is going down, then you offer him a lifeline. Don't just sit back and, oh, you got it, you the man of the house, we're going to see how this going to go. If you know you got the skill sets or the talents to do what he's trying to do, and you can plug in and throw him a lifeline, then that's what you should do. Don't just sit back and watch him, as he's struggling trying to save the whole ship. I will never forget when I was married. I'm better with planning and writing things out and writing a budget, writing grocery lists. I'm just better with um, saving money, keeping money, all that kind of stuff. So um, at that time, we were making good money, but we were not seeing a lot of it. So I proposed that I make a household budget and run some numbers and show it to him and see what he thought about it, and showed him how in 6 months I could turn around our red areas and get us back in the black. So I did that. So I asked him, could I present that to him? He was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Go ahead and do that. I said, okay. So I presented the plan to him. Great plan, by the way. And so when I showed it to him, he was like, how you came up with this? I said, I just sat there and I prayed about it and I took my time. I wrote everything out and just crunched some numbers. He was like, oh, this good. So he was like, oh, we could save this much right here. Da 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 da. I said, yeah. He was like, okay, let's do it. So we were supposed to do it for 6 months. So 2 months in, he gets off track. Now we've made this commitment for 6 months. 2 months in, he gets off track. So I go to him. I said, you're not sticking to the plan. Remember, we made a commitment to the plan. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Just popped off. I'm like, oh crap, here we go again. It just turned really ugly. So you know what? Okay. In that instance, I had to watch a ship go down that didn't have to go down. Because every time I tried to help save us, it was met with hostility. It was met with opposition and a whole bunch of other stuff that didn't have to be. So sometimes, if you don't have qualified leadership skills, make sure, men, that you marry a woman that does. Or even if you have those leadership skills, marry someone that can help you with those skills, even if you got to teach her a little bit along the way, you know? But whatever you do, sorry, ladies, don't get with somebody, gentlemen, don't marry a woman that will sit back and watch you sink the whole ship and she not even try to throw you a lifeline. Period. We want the gold, okay? So he sets his goals, prioritizes them, and he takes responsibility for accomplishing them. He even takes responsibility when they don't work out. He sets boundaries between his personal and professional lives. And I think that's really important as a man leading his family and him leading at his job, whether it be on a secular job or it be like at church or wherever he works. I think it's important uh, for him to understand that work is work and home is home. And then there are some men that work from home. Ever since COVID, some people just didn't go back to the traditional office. Some people still at home working. But still, you got to know how to separate those two, okay? And gentlemen, know that wherever you lead your family, that's where we're going to go, okay? So you retain awareness of your strengths and weaknesses and any potential sources of bias that may impact your thinking or decision making. Now, although these 5 qualities seem like they're talking primarily about leadership skills in a company, which they are, they're still applicable to you as a gentleman and how you run your everyday life. Okay. Number 2, good leaders focus on developing others. Now we're talking about from the perspective of relationship. You know, if you're a good leader, you're going to be focused on developing everybody in that household. Even if it's just you and your spouse, you're going to be more focused on developing the two of you. Uh, I was talking to a gentleman friend, and one of the first things he said was, you need an assistant. And I said, yeah, I know. So to me, that was important that he even noticed that. To me, that was important for him to mention that, you know. And that's what true leaders do. They recruit, develop a team with diverse skills and backgrounds, and they give the team members the tools and the space to build trust among each other. They also coach, they show empathy as well as strength. Effective leaders know how to be assertive and kind at the same time. And I know some of you have had employers um, and bosses, supervisors that just wrecked your last nerve. But a gentleman leader, he should know how to be firm and kind simultaneously, if it ever calls for that. If your husband is in high leadership at work, he should remember that when he comes home, he's no longer the sarge in charge. He doesn't have to command the home like he commands the job. He got to let some of that energy go and keep home and work separate. You understand what I'm saying? So he has to know how to be kind at the same time too. He's going to make the training a priority. So this is what I like to say. Remember, I was talking to you last week Tuesday, and I was telling you that I like a gentleman that can teach me new things, and I like to hear about when a gentleman learn new things. I don't know what it is. I just like to hear about it. Especially if it excites them. If they get excited about it, and then I'm gonna get excited about it. If you got a new tool, a new toy, or whatever you got, and you're excited about it, and you choose to tell me about it, then guess what? I'm gonna be excited with you. Okay. Um, Number three, they encourage strategic thinking, innovation, and action. Number four, they are ethical and civic minded. Number five, they practice effective cross cultural communication. All right, I want to get through that so we can get to the last letter. Last letter is D, and D is distinguished. I want to get to this one because this is like one of my favorite ones. So, again, what I did, I took the word gold and I did a little spin on it, from the traditional way of thinking about gold diggers. I took the word gold, GOLD, and I said, what do women really want? We want the gold. We want the gentleman who's observant, who has leadership qualities, and who is a distinguished gentleman. Well, let's look at what distinguished gentleman looks like. Let's see that, and then I'll be finished. Okay, so being a gentleman is not something men should aspire to, as gentlemanliness doesn't require you to do anything more than have good manners. Becoming a gentleman of distinction, however, does require you to be more than just polite. A distinguished gentleman is defined by excellence and dignity, and you as a man should be aspiring to this. Um, there are things you can do in life to go from a gentleman to distinguished gentleman. And it isn't all about the salt and pepper sideburns. Oh, they tried it. They tried it. Y'all know I like the salt and pepper beards and sideburns and stuff. They tried it. So they said it's more than taking uh, Propecia for hair loss that may be premature. It's about overall general health and making the time in your career to be present about your appearance also. You know, I hear men, you know, say all the time, they want a woman who looks like this, they want a woman who looks like that, they won't date a woman who looks like this, and then they look like something that has just escaped the zoo. Don't sneak up on me like that. Oh, no, sweetie, you don't get to pick from the high fruit. You pick from whatever you can reach. Stay at your level. You know, but you make all these demands about how you want a woman to look, and then you be looking like, I know he didn't just say that. So I posted in our group. If you're a member of the group in on Facebook, Live Talk with Benita Bradley group, you know I post those kind of gentlemen quite frequently. Excuse me. A distinguished man has usually seen the world because it's his job. He's been in the military. He comes from a place of wealth, or he has been real about his finances. Okay. Um, However, if you're the sort of man who spend more than he saved, you're more than likely frivolous and you don't care much about your financial health. So, me, I'm not, I'm not interested in a man that doesn't care about his financial health. I'm just not, you know, and I don't want to hear about, well, my potential. We can't eat your potential, you know. Um, we can't pay the mortgage with your potential, you know. Uh, One of my friends say these lights don't work by magic, Benita. So your potential doesn't make lights stay on. So, something has to happen for us to make things happen. All right. So I'm looking for the gold, but not in the negative connotation of gold digging, but the gold, a gentleman who's observant, who's a leader, and who is distinguished. GOLD. Y'all see what I did? All right, so let's go. Um, Saving your dough and exploring new places, meeting new people, and getting to grips with a new culture gives you stories. It gives you insight into the world around you that you may not have considered exists. It also gives you an exciting edge, one that is attractive, impressive, and draws people to you. I love, love, love to hear gentlemen tell stories. Not lies, but stories, about places they visited. Even there are times in the military, um, places they vacation spots, in stories. I like to hear gentlemen tell their stories. Long as you're not telling me a story that involves another woman, I don't want to hear that crap. Especially if me and you trying to get to know one another. I don't want to hear that. So, oh man, they log Instagram out again. Let's see, can we get them back? Open this. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Instagram. Let me see. Cancel. Okay, how do I get you back? Oh, I don't know what to do. Let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. Instagram got kicked out, and I don't. Let's see. I don't know what to do this time to get them back. Enter the passcode. Oh, okay. Let's see if this will do it. No, this one. Mm, I don't know. I don't know why they won't let Instagram back in. Let's see. I'm putting the right code in. Okay. Oh, I think that's wrong. Let's see. No, it's still not right. Okay, I can't remember the code. So I need to put the code in again. I can't remember it. Well, I'm almost finished anyhow, so I hate that because they always are on good on Instagram. So anyhow, um, it gives you insight into the world around you that you may not have considered exists. It gives you an exciting edge, one that is attractive, impressive, and draws people to you. A distinguished man is gentle in character, where required, and powerful in others. He commands respect by just entering a room, and that's not by being a bully. He can just step into a room. He doesn't have to say anything. He doesn't have to move anybody out the way. He doesn't have to step on anybody to prove that he is who he is. He just simply enters the room. I thought that was the right one. Let's see. I gotta try one more time. Hold on, guys. This wasn't in it. Uh, without being a bully. The standard definition of a gentleman includes holding, listen, ladies, holding doors and standing when your lady leaves the table. These practices are rather old. We know that. However, it's offensive to a gentleman, particularly a distinguished gentleman. It's offensive to him when he holds the door open for you. He opens the door, he pulls out your chair, stuff like that, and you acting like, oh, I could get it. That's offensive. I mean, why was that necessary for you to say? Why not? Why, thank you. You know? Oh, excuse me, can I get the door for you? Yes, thank you. You don't always have to come off like, you know, like everything is a challenge. Soften up, ladies. Be walking that feminine energy. Soften up sometimes. It doesn't always have to be, you know, oh, I saw a lust spirit on him. That was probably you lusting. All he did was ask if he could open the door for you. When I'm in the presence of a gentleman, I don't even have to know who you are. I will not touch a door. I won't do it. I will not do it. I will stand there. If there's a gentleman in my presence and there's a door that needs to be open, I'm not opening no door, please. But if I'm by myself or what have you, of course, that's different. But if I'm in the presence of gentlemen, particularly distinguished gentlemen, I'm not opening no doors. And I'm not going to be offended when they offer certain things. It says the impression you give when you still practice old values will hold you higher than most other men. Y'all listening, brothers? There may be cries about inequality in the sexes, but most women are still flattered by a man who holds open the door and offers to pay the bill. Now that's sexy. That's sexy. I um went to lunch. I wouldn't even call it a date, but I went to lunch with someone and I asked, are we going Dutch? You know, you want me to pay my half? How would he said, oh no, I'll pay. Um, I didn't go back and forth with him. Once he said that, I left that conversation alone. You know, because I think sometimes when we try to prove that we can do just as much as he can do, we may find out that we've entered into like a competitive kind of area with him without knowing it, but he feels it. You see what I'm saying? He'll feel that competitive area that we've entered to with him, but we may not be aware of it because that's just the way we're used to reacting. And unfortunately, once he sees that, he's most gentlemen, uh, particularly a distinguished gentleman, he doesn't want to come a woman that he has to compete with in order for him to do his due diligence as a man. He doesn't want that. He wants to be able to do his due diligence as a man without having to fight you for that position and those responsibilities as a man. Okay? So although you might think chivalry has gone out the window, um, it could be that the gentleman that you're surrounding yourself with, they're not chivalrous. But I can promise you that chivalry within itself is not dead. Okay. Um, Again, that's where I think we need to kind of retrain our brains as women, especially a lot of you church women. Um, that it's all right to let a man open the door for you. It's all right to, let a man um, offer to pay something or what have you. Everybody that's offering to pay ain't trying to lay all the time. There are some distinguished gentlemen out there that don't always uh, expect to lay just because they paid, and if that's what you're getting, then you got to look at yourself and say, why am I attracting this kind of man to me all the time? Why do the men I attract expect to lay when they pay? Okay. Am I giving off that kind of signal? Am I not making myself clear from the beginning? You know, um, if you make yourself clear from the beginning and a man respects that and he really is into you, he'll make the necessary adjustments. I promise you, he'll make the necessary adjustments, and sex will be off the table. He'll take that off the table so he can get to know you as a person. Now, now people say, well, if he ain't getting it from you, he getting it from somewhere. That's not always true about all men, because if we say that that's true about all men, then what we in essence is saying, we're saying that men have absolutely no self-control. They don't have no discipline. They're just a bunch of dogs running around in heat all the time. That's what we start saying about men. And I personally don't believe that's true. So we have to be careful of how we qualify and classify men, and how we look at things when we don't take responsibility, women, for our part in having broken pickers. Like I said earlier, just because a man chooses you, don't mean you got to pick him back. Okay. And so having a man that's chivalrous, you got to learn how to accept that. Some of you have been so hard for so long, so masculine, it's difficult for you to switch that masculine energy off and turn on your feminine charm, turn on, you know, um, but you got to know when and where. Of course, you don't flirt at church, you know, um, at work. Flirting at work is a no-no. But when you're out and about, what's wrong with saying hi? If someone speaks to you, you speak back. I'll never forget, I was in Publix and I was looking at the pre-made salads they have so our Publix, when you walk in, if you go, the deli's over here off to the right when you walk in our Publix. And so in front of the deli, they have like pre-packaged food, subs, salads, potato salad, all kind of stuff over there. So I'll never forget, one day I was in Publix and I was getting they had the salads on sale. So I was getting a couple of salads. So as I was standing there getting a salad, this this aroma of heaven hit my nose. This aroma of heaven hit my nose. And and so and I knew it was extremely close because the aroma was just that strong. And I knew it had to be somebody close, but I knew when I stood there was no one there. And so I go to turn around, but I bump into someone. There's a gentleman standing there, and I bump right smack into him. He says, "Oh, excuse me." So by the time I turned all the way around and looked at him, I said, "Oh, you're okay." I said, "You smell so good." He was like, "I do." I said, "Yes, you smell so good." He was like, "Thank you." Now you wanted me to notice you. And I noticed him. So a distinguished gentleman takes care of himself. All right, let me move on. I'm sorry, Instagram. I feel so bad about them. Um, a distinguished gentleman has a killer fashion sense, or at least a sense to get a personal shopper to help him dress better. You should make sure you have some excellently tailored suits for work rather than just off the rack suits all the time. Some of those suits can be ill fitting. Make time in your schedule to visit a proper tailor. A powerful suit does more than make the planes of your shoulders look good. It commands a respect and emanates professionalism. You know, some men have never had a tailored suit made. You know, if you don't do anything but get one tailored suit made, at least you will have that one. Um, I don't date men who don't own suits. I don't. I've shared that with you before. Um, and my reason for it, I mean, if you don't own a suit, you know, what do you wear to business meetings? What do you wear to work? What do you wear to church? You know, you don't own a suit. I mean, what you doing? You know, so consider getting yourself tailor-made suit, even if it's just one. Splurge a little bit on yourself. A distinguished man looks after his health. I'm gonna say this one again. A distinguished man looks after his health. It's so difficult to get you black men to go to the doctor. You all have to be like almost ready to be on life support before y'all go to the doctor. You know, you all have to be like almost, you know, you all have to be like almost, oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, back to, okay. You all have to be almost like on your last leg for y'all to go to the doctor. You know you need to go. You know what the problem is, and some of you still won't go. We're not going to even talk about um, your mental health. Some of you men have been through so much in your lifetime. You've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you still won't go get yourself some counseling. And I'm not talking about going and talk to your pastor. I'm not talking about going to talk to your homeboys. I'm talking about going to sit down with a licensed professional, a psychiatrist or a psychologist, somebody with some license, certification, stuff like that. And the longer you wait to get yourself the help that you know you need, the longer whatever has gotten you to that broken point festers in you. It makes you unkind to be around. It shows up when you don't think it's showing up. It shows up when you think you're just tired, but that's something else showing up in you. Someone that has been broken can recognize it in another person. Someone who struggled with depression can recognize it in another person. And a lot of you black men are suffering from depression. You're suffering from PTSD of some sort. You're suffering from all kind of issues. You're suffering from being broken. You're suffering from the shame of having a divorce on your name. You're suffering from losing your family. All that. You lost the love of your life. All that kind of stuff that breaks a man. And you still won't go get the counseling that you need. Instead, y'all out here trying to move on to the next person, the next person, the next person, knowing you broken inside. And all you're going to do is hurt whoever come in your life because you can't fully love them because you can't fully love yourself. If you don't love yourself enough to go get help, how in the hell you going to help somebody else? I need for you to go get help. I need for you to go to therapy. If you're a black man and you're listening to me and you know that you've gone through some hellacious situations, please go get yourself some help. I've never seen such a rebellious group of people than black men when it comes to mental health. You know you need help. You know it. You know you need help. You know you're broken. You know you can't love right. You know you can't treat a woman right because you don't treat yourself right. You don't even take care of your own self right. But a distinguished gentleman, he takes care of his health. Because if you take good care of you, I know you'll take good care of me. I watch how men take care of themselves. I watch. I don't care what y'all say. I watch everything. I'm a very observant woman. I watch. I watch. I watch. He joins the gym if he has to. He cares for his teeth, his hair, and his heart. He doesn't let his health appointments just slide by because he has a heavy load at work. He keeps his eye on his appearance, and his grooming doesn't make him less of a man. He lets his hair grow gray on its own. He doesn't worry about coloring his hair and trying to stay young. He grows old gracefully, and he embraces the salt and pepper look. His laughter shines through his laugh lines, but he keeps himself neat and tidy. I think I'm going to read this whole one again. A distinguished man looks after his health, and then I put in there his mental health as well, because your mental health is just as important, if not more, excuse me, important than your physical health. Join the gym if he has to, but care for your teeth, your hair, and your heart. Don't let your health appointments just slide by saying, oh, I got too busy at work. I got too much to do at work. I don't have time for an appointment. Keep an eye on your appearance and your grooming. It says that doesn't make you less of a man because you keep an eye on those kind of things. Let your hair grow gray on its own. Let it just grow old gracefully. Y'all around here coloring your hair, you're dyeing your hair, you know, you know, and you're robbing us the joy. Like me, I love seeing the salt and pepper. So, I don't know what you're trying to cover up the grave for. Unless y'all around here trying to catch these little young gals who ain't gonna do nothing but take your money and run. So, a distinguished man is, oh, okay. A distinguished gentleman is good in bed. It is not something that always comes naturally. If you have a problem with sex performance, erection, or you can't last longer in bed, there are lots of medicine to correct that. Okay, then it starts giving you methods. One of the methods they list is to start using a bath mate pump. That's for the men. That's for the men. Okay, a bath mate pump. All right. So a distinguished gentleman is also, he's a man that's good in bed because he's not just jumping in the bed, bam, 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 thank you, ma'am. He's also interested in pleasing his woman. I think it's selfish to be with somebody, hop in the bed with them, and only jump in there because of what you want. You never talk to your partner. You don't ask if if they're being satisfied. You just in there, see what you can get out of the situation. When you're done, it's over. Because that's not something that automatically comes natural. And then if you're having a problem performing, a lot of men, once they start getting older, suffer from erectile dysfunction. Certain medications can cause a man to suffer from erectile dysfunction, health issues, weight issues, prior substance abuse, prior alcohol abuse, things of that nature, can cause a man later in life to suffer from erectile dysfunction. And this is what we have to remember about the difference between men and women. As men get older, a lot of times their sex drive declines, but as women get older, our sex drive increases. And so um, you want to make sure you have that discussion with your gentleman. Um, that's part of y'all discussion, you know, because you want to know if he's healthy enough for sex. You don't want to marry somebody and then they're not healthy enough for sex, or the sex is just trash altogether. Then you stuck with somebody whose sex is trash. You don't want to just get married then jump back out of it. Why y'all got divorced? Because sex is trash. How you write that up? How you write that on the paperwork? So what we call is irreconcilable differences. Translation: sex is trash. But how else we gonna know? I don't know. Figure it out like you been doing. Y'all be trying before you buy, just like you try on pair of shoes. Y'all know what y'all be doing. I don't know. Don't ask me. Remember I told y'all, I don't get involved with people's sex lives. I don't tell grown people to or not to have sex. That's none of my business. I don't care about anybody that much to get involved with their sex life. I do not care about anybody that much to get involved with their sex life. Not even my adult children. I don't care about them that much. I don't ask my children, grown children, about their sex life. You know why? That's not my business. But y'all, some of y'all pastors, y'all want to know too much. Y'all want to know who people sleeping with, when last time they slept together, did y'all repent? Y'all want to know too much. Y'all too nosy. Y'all want to know too much about people's personal lives. And to me, that's beyond your scope of duty. That's not what you outside your pay grade when you start asking people about their sex life. And then, unfortunately, people feel obligated because you're their pastor or what have you. They feel obligated to have that conversation with you. I'm not having that conversation with anybody. I'm not. All you need to know is that I'm saved. I love God with all my heart. You know, I have the baptism of the Holy Spirit. That's all you need to know. Anything outside of that, that's not your business. If I sin, I repent. I have a heart of repentance towards God. Period. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know whether or not I have sex and I'm not married. You don't need to know if the next person, y'all pastors, y'all too nosy. Y'all want to know too much about people. That's beyond the scope of your duties. Within the scope of your sacerdotal duties, learning about people's sex lives is not one of them. That's not one of your sacerdotal duties. But you want to know, you know, some of you want to know because y'all just freaks. But some of you want to know so you can have something to control the person over, something to hang over their head. I ain't giving nobody nothing to hang over my head. Because I talk to the Lord. I'm not talking to none of y'all. Talk to the Lord. And like I said, some of you pastors and apostles and bishops and prophets, stop asking people about their sex life. Because that's not your business. That's beyond the scope of your duty. You're supposed to have 9 sacerdotal duties, unless they've added to them. 9 sacerdotal duties. Not one of those gives you permission to ask about people's sex life. Not one. Not one. Some of you are crossing a lot of ethical lines doing so. Some of you are crossing a lot of ethical lines, asking those kind of questions. Um, However, um, no one has ever challenged you on that. So you keep asking questions about people's sex lives. The unfortunate thing is, you'll ask women, but you won't ask them brothers about their sex lives, because them brothers will tell you where to get off at. So you ask a bunch of women about their sex life. A gentleman would never do that. You know, a distinguished gentleman, if he knows he's having a problem and he can foresee a problem, uh, and being able to please his woman, and he loves that woman, I promise you, he will go get the help you need. And a lot of, let me say this to the black men, a lot of your mental health could be, okay, I gotta put this together. A lot of your um, sexual dysfunctions and erectile dysfunction could be tied to your mental health issues that you refuse to deal with. Does that make sense? So a lot of your um, sexual issues and erectile dysfunctional issues could be tied or linked directly to your mental health issues, particularly those who will not go get counseling. Okay, so if you will not go get counseling and you have these mental health issues, they will always, just about always, almost always lead to some kind of physical, because whatever goes on in the mind, it's going to show up somewhere in the body. Okay, so you got a lot of mental stuff going on. um that energy has to go somewhere, you know. And those of you that have mental illness that's not due to trauma, that's due to brain injury or trauma to the brain, or some type of neurological disorder where your neurotransmitters are not firing, they're misfiring, where they should be going like this, they're going like this. All of those things are outside the scope of your control, because those things are medical, absolutely outside of your control. However, when you have that brokenness, that sadness, that depression, that anxiety, that brokenness from being hurt, that brokenness from being lonely, that brokenness from feeling like a failure because you lost your family, you went through a divorce, all of that, that brokenness from there, that's within your control. You can get help with that. And so when you get help with that part of your life, I can almost promise you, if you fix that mental health part, you'll be able to fix your erectile dysfunction part, because I promise you they go hand in hand. They work hand in hand. Same way with the woman. You know, women, if you're having some issues, go and get your endocrine system checked out. You know, that's what one of the things, the tumor that I had was sitting right smack on the endocrine system. Your endocrine system controls a little bit of everything in your body, everything from your sleep to your mood to sex drive to memory, everything. Your endocrine system touches every other system in your body, and mine was completely thrown off because of the brain tumor. So, of course, you know, after surgery, it's corrected. So then I'm like, "Ooh, what do I do with all this energy?" Kind of deal. So, men, we want the gold. We want the best from you. I don't want what's left. I want the best. Don't give me something somebody left over. If you're hurting, go get help. If you're broken, go get help. If you're still trying to figure out, well, why did she leave me, or how did I lose my family? Go get help. Some of you all need to stop trying to meet new people because you're still holding on to old hurts. I'll say that again. Some of you gentlemen need to stop trying to meet new people while you're holding on to old hurts, because all you're doing is wasting women's time, because you're not really ready. You're not ready. Not ready. Not ready. You say you're ready, you're not. You're not ready at all. Not ready. So again, what I did, I took the word gold digger, the phrase gold digger, and I put a different spin on the word gold. So instead of it being a negative connotation, gold is gentleman, observant, leadership, and distinguished. That's what we want. We want the gold. We want a man that's a gentleman. We want a man that's observant. We want a man that has leadership skills. And we want a man that is distinguished in his gentlemanly ways. And here's the thing, because the male female ratio, I hear a lot of women say, well, we might as well be the side piece and all of this. You don't have to do any of that. It's too many men out in the world for you to consider yourself as anybody's side anything, unless that's just what you want to do. You know, if that's what you want to do, then by all means, you know, sure thing, do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to, you know. So, do you. So I have had a wonderful time with you guys tonight. I'm going to get ready to get off here. But you probably see me again tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Like I said, I'm going to try to get as many shows as I can get in with you guys before I go to have my, it's called Gamma Knife Radiation Surgery. That's what it's called. So when I first heard, I was like, oh, I don't want my head cut up anymore. But it's not like a knife. Gamma, the rays. Knife is because it's so precise. And then radiation, of course. It's like a 6-hour process. I check in the hospital at 6 o'clock in the morning. If all goes well, I should be coming home late afternoonish. Now rest, recuperate at home. It's an outpatient surgery kind of deal. So I'll go into it some more as time draws closer. Maybe Tuesday. I'll go over it Tuesday, because Tuesday will actually be closer to the date. Okay? So in the meantime, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I might see y'all tomorrow. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. But I know I will see you guys soon, okay? Because I do want to share some more things with you before I go have the radiation surgery, okay? If you guys have any questions for me, you can inbox me like you normally do. I'll put them in the comments. I'll go back and read all the comments in a minute as soon as I log off. I'll go back and read the comments. Hey, Arika. Hi, Andrea. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I'm finished. So I'm gonna go. So I got to finish putting my room together. I am doing some spring cleaning and getting ready for next week. Um, so I may pop in and out. Just keep your notifications on. You never know. I might pop in the middle of the night if I can't sleep. You never know. So, and have a chat with some of y'all that's still up. If you're on Instagram, I think, let me tell you what the right thing is on Instagram. Let's see. Okay, so it's Live with Benita on Instagram. That's what it is. That's why I couldn't find it. I was trying to log back in with like under Live Talk with Benita Bradley, but on Instagram it's Live with Benita. That's why I couldn't get Instagram back in. All right, so you all go to Instagram and follow me at Live with Benita. Um, you'll see the flyer. You'll see the flyer there. Go ahead and sign up over, not sign up, but go ahead and follow me there. I'm almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram over there. Help me build my numbers and make sure you go to my YouTube page and subscribe, hit the bell notification there. Help me get my numbers up over there, and make sure you join the Facebook group page. It's a public group, so you can just go and put yourself in there, and you can actually start posting. As long as it's uplifting, or it's anything that's newsworthy, stuff we ought to know about. You can post it. Our admins will give it a once over, and as long as it does not conflict with our rules or Facebook community rules, uh, your post can go up. All right, but I do encourage you all to post, and I do encourage you guys to post, and let me know too of more stuff that's going on. I try to keep everybody abreast of what's going on. But if you hear of something before I post about it, inbox it to me, let me know. I try to keep up with what's current, but I do know sometimes I miss it. Um, sometimes I miss it because I can't keep up with everything at one time. So if you know about something and you see I haven't posted about it, inbox me and see if I know about it, or inbox me the link or something like that, so I can verify it first, because I always try to verify something before I post it. Every now and then I'll share something, and if it's wrong, then I have to take it down or erase parts of it or something like that. If somebody says, hey, that's not what happened, or that's not true, or whatever, then I have to um, correct it. And I'm okay with that. Okay. All right, guys, I will see you next time. And I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to see how I can get back into my Instagram account. All right. Oh, yeah. And go to TikTok and follow me on TikTok too. All right. Bye bye.